He's here to inspire you. Please welcome Nolan Pillay.
Thank you so much, Damien. And it's actually good to be on Underground Radio.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much for coming through. And you know, I've just I haven't had the chance to look at your stand as yet, but I'm so keen to hear more about your book and hear more about you. So, am I right in saying that that one of the keys to success is a positive mindset?
No, absolutely. Everything starts in the mind, right? If you look at everything that we have, we just figure or feature on the negative all the time. What's it going to do to the rest of our day? We're going to attract that negative energy towards us automatically, because that's how life works. So for me, everything does start in the mind. So when you wake up in the morning, as an example, if you're not grateful to seeing another day, or seeing your partner next to you, or seeing your kids, or for the roof that you have, then your day is not going to go very smooth, because you're going to wake up in a kind of like a moody way, right? So for me, it does start in the mind, and it's how you program yourself. So if I tell myself that I'm going to have a good day today, believe me, I am going to have a damn good day.
Yes, yeah. No, absolutely. I hear you. I mean, I feel like when you put your positive mindset out there, it's definitely something that affects your day.
Yeah.
If you wake up and you say to yourself, well, you ask someone how's life, and they say, oh, it's taking too long. It's that person is most likely having a bad day and will have a bad rest of their day with that mindset. But if you come through and you say, you know what, it's a good day, even though it's not rain just now, it's a day for celebration,
It's how you see the world, right? So, while you're speaking, I was thinking about an example. Have you ever heard of the person that complains all the time that they're sick, or they're not well, or, life is so tough, etc.? Guess what's going to happen to them? Life is going to be tough for them. They're going to continuously be sick. But if they just change their thought, they can attract all the good things into their life as well. But they got to make that choice. They got to make the decision how they want to see life. Life, of course, we're human. It's natural. We are going to have challenges and obstacles in life as well. But what if we see those challenges as obstacles as a good thing? And let me elaborate what I mean by a good challenge, and say, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I grow through it and not just go through it? Different mindset already, right? You're thinking from a mindset of positivity. And when you do that, you're going to see less negative things around you, because you're channeling yourself, or you're programming your subconscious just to see the positive in every single situation out there as well.
Yes, yeah. That's so powerful. I mean, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, preparing for the interview with you this morning, I was just looking at your book and how it equips students with real life sort of stuff, and not because you can school, but you can't learn a lot. Life teaches you things, and what sort of stuff can we, I think you just touched on quite a bit on it with just your mindset, but what sort of stuff can a person learn from your Millennial Success Code book?
I love this question because, there's so much in it that I can speak about. But what I want to say firsthand is that the Millennial Success that just came about, it's really built on my life experiences. So I've been working with the youth for more than a decade now. And the more I worked with them, the more I realized that the challenges or limitations that they have, the fear, I was once that person as well. But the difference is, my background is one of extreme poverty, right? And I'll give you another example. I come from apartheid South Africa. If you look at the youth of today, they have never experienced apartheid at all. But a lot of them think that they were in that situation. And that comes from conditioning from the parents, etc. The parents and politicians, obviously, are putting them in the wrong direction. So what I'm trying to explain to the youth in the book is that no matter what your circumstances were, no matter where you came from, don't allow that to dictate where you can actually go to. So when I put this book together, it was more of a blueprint for one. Let's say, for example, you're having like a mental wellness challenge, which I've had tons of it as well, tons of it. But nobody was there holding my hands and saying, Nolan, this is how you get through this. I had to learn it on my own. So those are some of the techniques I put in the book to say to them, if you are having, and I'll give you a simple example is, let's say if your listeners are having a negative thought at this present moment, what I'd encourage them to do is write it on a piece of paper, but write 5 positives to offset that one negative. And the more you do that in your life with any negative situation, the more you're not going to focus on the negative at all. You're going to focus on life being really good no matter what you go through as well. So the book is strategically written in like 3 different phases. And the reason why I wrote it in that is because of mental wellness issues that one experiences, limitations, and all of these fear thoughts, etc. So I've written it in such a way that the first phase of the book is all about internal work. Because you can be the most successful person out there, and if you haven't done the inner healing, you're going to always have a blocker in your life. So I'm teaching the youth how to get through all of this internal trauma that they experience, and they experience a lot, right? We know that. So I teach them how to overcome that. But once you overcome it, once you fill your cup, basically, you can now go out in your personal and professional life and use those same techniques in there as well. And the last part of it is, okay, you become successful, you're doing extremely well, got the nice house, the nice car, top job. Now what? Go out and live a purpose-driven life. Go out and give back to the communities. Go out and network and collaborate with as many people as possible that want to change the way we see South Africa as an example, then Africa and the world as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's such a beautiful story, you know. Yes, yeah, no, but thank you. You know, we touched on it a bit there, but what sort of, would you say that habits cause you to sort of backtrack in your strive for success? Like obviously there's bad habits of alcoholism and adult content and whatever it may be. Would you say that those sort of bad habits in us would deter us from sort of reaching those goals? Should we obviously bad habits are bad habits, you shouldn't have them, but it can't be helped in some people. And so how would you go about changing that for somebody, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it really is bad habits, right? So firstly, if you look at habits, if you adopt one bad habit now and you continuously adopt more bad habits, you go through something called stacking. So you kind of pile it up in your subconscious mind. Now, every single one that goes into your subconscious mind is going to stay there, right, forever, until you choose to unlearn it. So the key here is to unlearn it. So let's talk about the porn thing, because we know that's a big topic. In fact, on one of my podcast shows, I had a guy talking strictly about porn and how he overcame it. But the thing is, the more one goes out and looks at it, the more they're going to waste time on it. So before they even realize it, the 8 hours of the day, of their work day as an example, they would have spent 6 hours watching porn. Correct, yeah. But you're right, it's a cancer in your mind, but who has the choice to change that from your mind? It's that person, right? So that person needs to go back, in my opinion, and understand why or how they got hooked on porn in the first place. This means you're dealing with the root cause and you're not just trying to high level. This is where the internal work comes into play. So you need to dig down deep in yourself initially for me to get so attached or so used to it and deal with it. Because that would lead to much more habits as well. So whatever bad habit you are experiencing now, write it down again. Because when you write down things, it kind of impacts you in a bigger way, rather than just playing it out in your mind. So write it down and try to understand where that came from. And when you know where it came from, you can deal with it. And when you can deal with it, believe me, you're going to move away from that so fast, you would not even believe that you were there in that situation as well. One of my mentors, he's late now, the late legend Bob Proctor, he always said to me when I was studying personal mastery and going through my transformation, he said to me, in 8 months' time, you'll need a magnifying glass or a telescope to see how far you have come. And that's so true, because all you're doing is you're breaking those bad habits as well.
Well, thank you so much. We are running out of time a little bit. I wish I had so much more time with you. I mean, you're so knowledgeable, and you've got so much behind you that you can share, and it's such a beautiful thing. So I'm just wanting to know, for our listeners and for everyone out there, where can people find you? Do you have a website? Do you have social media? Just to get in touch, because perhaps they can't get you to get the book. Where can they grab the book? Where can they get a hold of you? That sort of thing.
Sure. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So firstly, if you want a copy of the book, and if you're not at the Eduvos Durban International Book Fair, you still have time till tomorrow to come over if you are in Durban and get your copy. If you cannot make it still, you can go onto our website called millennialsuccesscode.com. There's two avenues. One, if you're an international listener, click on the Amazon link and purchase it. If you are local, just click on grab a copy and get your copy of the book. You can find me on social media. Just look for Straight Talk with Nolan. Just Google it and you'll have access to all my social media platforms. And please connect. A lot of the times when people respond on inspirational posts that I put on, they basically say to me, you have no idea how a single line of inspiration has changed my day. So if your listeners are going through any challenges, reach out. Don't keep it within yourself. I think that's another big thing that we didn't speak about is, mental wellness is one of those things where people keep it to themselves, and especially guys as well. We don't tend to talk about it. So my encouragement for you today is speak about it. If you can't get hold of me, find somebody to talk about it. The key is speak about it, engage in conversation. But thank you so much for having me, Damon. I really appreciate your time as well.
Thank you so much for joining me here on Super Saturdays. Like I say, I wish I had some more time with you, because we can just dig deeper and deeper and deeper into this sort of thing. But really, thank you so much. If you are at the Durban International Book Fair at Eduvos, please come on down and grab a copy of the Millennial Success Code, written by Nolan Pillay. It's a very, very good book, and man, the author is such an awesome guy. So thank you so much for joining me. Do get in touch with him, the millennialsuccesscode.com or Straight Talk with Nolan.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Caroll. I'm the author of Sleepover Grandma. And my book is about a little giraffe that is having a sleepover by his grandmother's house, and he's struggling to fall asleep. So it's a little method that his grandmother uses on him to help him fall asleep. And this little giraffe, he's got ADHD. So it's very difficult for him to just calm his mind and just, close his eyes and go to sleep. So it's a nice method in here. And you can purchase the book from a couple of places. One of my new ones is Caroll. It's available at Caroll. It's available on our website, the Infinity Tree Publishing. infinitytree.co.za, and it's in a few bookstores as well. It's on Amazon. Yes, so you can purchase it from there, and also through me directly. Yes, it's Jennifer Caroll, the Jennifer Caroll author on Facebook, and also on Instagram as well.
Hi, good morning. I'm live at Underground Radio at Eduvos Linde campus. And thank you very much for inviting me to share my journey, to share my book. My story is about a story of resilience, a story of rising up, a story of healing. I wrote this book after I went through a career trauma at work where I'm working. Then I decided to document everything, with the hope that I'm going to touch other lives out there, and also giving them some tips. How did I get out of that trauma? My name is Wimsome Mashele. I am the author of the book Standing Tall on the Wings of My Dreams. I was born and grew up in Tzaneen, the province of Limpopo. And I'm a rural girl. Grew up in the rural village. I have I'm blessed with 3 children. And if I can say, my mom was a farm worker. So our upbringing, I wouldn't say it was easy, like any other rural girl. But my father was a station commander in Soweto. In terms of my education, I think I did very well. I appreciate my parents for what they did in terms of education. I have bachelor's degree, I have master's, and I have a PhD. As you speak right now, I am Dr. Wimsome Mashele, and I am the author. So despite the challenges that I went through at work, I managed to rise up. And how I managed to rise up, it's for me being the woman of God, because I believe that I am God's masterpiece. So you can't put me down. And also, some of the tips that I can share was accept whatever that is happening for you to be able to move on. And don't allow yourself to be derailed. You have goals, stick to your goals and be able to move forward. And also learn, because this is not unique to me. There are other people who went through the trauma that I went through at work, whereby I felt like I was victimized. For me, being connected to the previous leadership, and it's not new to me. The people, especially my colleagues, executives that bought my book, most of them, the review that I received was, you know what, Wimsome, it's like you were talking to me, because this is what I went through. I think the difference is you are brave enough to be able to share your experience. And this is my experience. Other people my colleagues that I work with, they might have experienced differently, but this one is my experience and I own it and I'm out of it. As it is now, I feel like I'm doing very well. I'm out of trauma. I'm now an author and I'm rising up. And I thank the Almighty God, my creator, for strengthening me. I went through EAP, which is counseling programs at work. And thank you to my organization for supporting me. Here I am. I'm strong. And thank you so much for this opportunity. My book is released. It's available at Amazon online as a paperback. And also is available at Take a Lot. If you want to get hold of me, my email address is norma04@icloud.com. And my cell number is 083-462-8801. Thank you so much for the opportunity once again.
Stan, sit, Stan. It's Vashazar. Sit. Make yourself at home, don't worry. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Very well. That's good. It's been a fun morning.
Yeah. Interesting. That's good. What book fair? Second book fair?
First Durban Book Fair. Yes, I'm from Hillcrest, and but earlier this year I was up at Kingsmead Book Fair in Johannesburg. That was really, really fun. But yeah, this has been really awesome to meet different people and kind of immerse in this. There's a lot more authors here. You feel a little bit overwhelmed, but it's been great.
Oh, that's good. Well, we're really honored to have you here at Underground, and we're really excited to hear more about your books and also your platform, which I really love. I think it's quite a brilliant idea. Personally, for me, I love books. I like the whole thought of books and books itself, but I don't really like reading.
Haven't found the right book yet. You love reading when you find the right book.
So your platform of reading aloud is actually a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you want to walk us through that?
Okay. So, you know what? COVID kind of changed everything for everybody in the world. And when you now, weirdly, you couldn't buy slops because you have to buy clothes, shoes, and no one could go to libraries, nobody could go to school. So I was fortunate enough with my children. We've got a very extensive library of books. And during that whole time, I was like, well, let's still bring books to kids. So I started recording myself online and reading all the stories I had. And then fortunately, everybody, all these authors from around the world were like, they kind of stuck. And how do they get their books out? So I managed to talk to quite a few authors and they sent me their books and I was able to read their books online. So that whole Read Aloud platform has grown really, really phenomenally. And it's helped me as an author to promote my books as well. But I love storytelling. I love the energy that I can give. And by that energy and excitement, I think it opens kids' excitement for books. Because if you read very slowly and boring, and you'll put yourself to sleep. But having the excitement and the energy and the passion, then the kids feed off that. So that's why I love children's books, and I love being able to, my whole story, theme is bringing books to life. So being able to read, if it's my own book, if it's another author, whatever, just to bring that passion, it helps.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Let's start by, since you're about stories, tell us your story of your first book.
My first.
And then how, that's what we bet.
All right, so my first book is called A Big Plate of Kindness. It's illustrated by Tabiso Konyisa. He lives up the hill, in Bothers Hill. It's quite a unique sort of meeting that we had. I had written my book. It's all about sharing and being kind and compromise. And my kids, they're aged 10 and 8, and like all children, we don't know how to share. So I couldn't find a book that really resonated with me. So I wrote my own story. And then went on the journey of trying to find someone who would illustrate it. And start going through all these freelance web-based companies, and from Hong Kong to Pakistan to Canada and nobody could really give me the pictures that I was looking for. And then Tabiso had popped a Facebook, a marketplace ad out there to say that he was looking to promote his or grow his portfolio. And I was like, hey, I've got a kid's book, would you be interested? And we just clicked from day one. So I was very fortunate. He came up with the most incredible illustrations. Subsequently, this is now 4 years ago, he's done, I think, close to 20 odd books in the time being. And I said to him last year, I was like, I've got another book, can you help me illustrate? I really want to keep the same look and feel. So he managed to squeeze me in with his busy schedule. So I'm so great that I was able to get my next book with him as well. But A Big Plate of Kindness, again, it's just wanting to be able to share moral with readers about kindness, but in a way that it's not thrown in their face, because kids are smart. Yeah. They understand and they pick up when they're being taught something, and they'll quickly throw that book away because I don't want to learn. It's same as like saying no to your mom and dad.
Think bad one.
So my stories are a way of kind of creating this moral, but in a hidden way. So A Big Plate of Kindness is all about a little mouse named Mart who has never had to share anything. And these two sort of unwanted characters come along, and he has to learn how to compromise and work with them in order to get what he wants. So the story is about this chef who is always giving this little mouse a leftover plate of food, a giant plate of food. But Mart doesn't want to share it, and then he always gets told kindness is always rewarded. So by the end of the story, he realizes he hasn't been kind, he's been very selfish. And in order to show kindness and how the chef has showed kindness, he needs to share with his friends. So yeah, at the end of it, the kids get, oh gosh, if I share, maybe something good happens to me. So that's the moral behind it. Yeah. And then, I can tell you about my second story was called The Duck Who Wished for Web Feet. Again, about kindness, but more so about the laws of attraction. So where you put good and kind and positive energy out in the world, it's going to come back to you. So if you are sulky and miserable and everything's negative, and it's very easy to become like that because, yeah, I mean, our world is surrounded by negativity and so many horrible things happening. But if you can just change your mindset and start being kind in the smallest things, like smiling at someone, like just sharing, just sharing your happiness, quickly, that attracts back to you. So again, the story is about this little duck who is wanting to have webbed feet. He was born with these really strange, peculiar feet. How does he get that? And he's got to learn that by doing kindness and all these good things in the world, small little things, that he might get his wish come back to him. By all that kindness spread around, the kindness is going to come back to him. Yeah.
Can you share maybe a few lines of, let's start with this one, the duck with webbed feet. Give us like a few lines of your favorite and the most motivating from this book. The book is called The Duck Who Wished for Webbed Feet.
Alright.
I wish you could see this book. We're gonna post some pictures on our social media on Underground Radio. That's Underground Radio DBN. That's where you'll catch us on Facebook and Instagram. But for now, Michelle is gonna read us a few lines.
All right. So I'm going to start at the beginning because it's a good place to start. In a cozy park not far away lived a little white duck named Quackers who loved to play. He was friendly and sweet and a joy to meet, but what made him different was his funny feet. What does his feet look like? For Quacker's feet were not what they seem. They were long and pointy and not quite the dream. He loved to swim and splash all day, but he would skid and slip in a wobbly way. Now here's the crux. His feet just did not feel quite right, and he wished a wish every night. Now he's wishing a wish, so he doesn't have these spiky feet. But you have to read the story to see if he gets his wish and if he's able to change his feet.
I like that. That's interesting. It's got me quite riled up and more interested. Yeah, I'm very interested. And if you can see, please go onto our Instagram page and see. We're gonna post some of the pictures of this book, and it's gonna make you even more interested to read the book. And get your kids around also. Make them read.
So also, I'm a teacher by trade and author by hobby. You want to say that? What I've learned, especially with our young readers, is that life is so busy, and everyone's so engaged in mobile devices and games and online things. So you have to kind of create a book that keeps them wanting to turn the page, right? So what I've done with my stories is that on every single page is got a hidden creature. So in my duck story, I've got a little snail that's hiding. So even your youngest readers, your 1-year-olds that are literally just staring at the pictures, you can go, can you find the snail? Find Slugger. Let's go and see. So it keeps them wanting to read. Yes. So, and even I find, like even today, a lot of the adults going through my stories, I'm like, yes, it's a kid book, but did you find the snail? They're like, and then they go back. And they're looking through the pages. So it's a great way of engagement. And I don't know if you know this, it's a really scary stat that we're sitting at the moment with like 81% of our grade 4 learners, that's your 10 to 11-year-olds, that cannot read for meaning. So that means like they'll read a book, but they haven't absorbed what it's about. They haven't absorbed how, to retell the story. That's a hectic stat. So even though my books are picture books, but I've added a whole comprehension questionnaire at the back of the book, because then as a teacher, as a parent, you've read the story, but now has your child remembered or understood the story? So to make it easy, because a lot of us can't really think on our own, simple things like for the duck who wished for webbed feet, who was the first creature that he helped, or what was the color of the boy's shirt, or if you were in the same situation, what would you do? So it makes them that extension of the story, makes them think, makes them build their cognitive development, and it helps a lot.
Helps with the memory.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's jog some memory, or let's get something else to stick in our listeners' memory. Michelle, tell us where we can find your books and where can we find you and follow you.
All right, amazing.
Side on Underground right now.
Yes. come down to Agios International Book Fair. We're here for a while. But I am online. You can get my books online through at Stories by Shelley. You can also locally here in Durban, I am at some bespoke shops. At Lelusha Mall, there's Mr. Tickle's toy shop. The books are sold there. At Kensington Square, there's the Fat Whale. It's a gifting shop. Beautiful, beautiful shop. So they're on sale there. Otherwise, directly through me, just find me at Stories by Shelley on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And yeah, you can get in touch with me, and I'm happy to deliver wherever you go.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, there you have it. Mashele Linde with the amazing book The Duck with Rib Beat and Big Plate of Kindness. Please go onto our Instagram and look at these pictures of the books. You're gonna definitely want it. I lie to you not, and you know I don't lie to you at all. So let's get back into some music. Thank you, Mashele. We will catch up with you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we have Naushad, Kahn with welcome, my brothers.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh man, it's so good to have you. It's an honor and it is a pleasure to have you here. And yes, man, I see a book here that you gave me that we're going to just dive into as well. In which I love the cover for all those people that come see, because obviously it's radio. It's a red cover with not cars, by the way, on the cover. And then we have world champion belts. Come on now. And yes, brother, can you tell me about your book? Because it's called Race Channel.
Yeah, so it's called Race Champ Part 1, The Oval Tar. It's actually the first in one. It's said to be a trilogy. It's a book about sports, cars, racing, action, adventure. If something piques your interest about action, cars, and racing, yeah, that's the book for years. Yeah.
So is it like a fictional or is it like a non-fictional?
It is a fictional book, completely fictional from start to finish. Even the cars in there are not even real cars. They're all fictional, made up names, characters, places, everything in entire fictional universe.
And as an item, as an all year, because I don't want to blow my own horse as a poet, as a fellow poet, we all about this creative writing, and we always have this source of inspiration, a well of creativities. What inspires you, to be a writer or to even write the book?
Okay, so I was reading and writing from the age of 5 years old. I was in the library. I would borrow up to 24 books at a time. So between my library card, my mom and my dad's library card, I would borrow up to 24 books. The rule would be you can borrow it for up to 2 weeks, but in 1 week, I would read all 24 books, return it back to the library, borrow another 24, and I would just be reading and read so much that my mind itself started conjuring up ideas of its own. So from that age, I've just been writing different stories. I remember the very first story I wrote was about talking dinosaurs. 5-year-old mind, talking dinosaurs. And then there was one about kids going on a voyage to space. And then there was, at the age of 10, I wrote a Western novel at the age of 10, which I know is unheard of, but that's what I was doing. And at the age of 17 is when I came up with the idea of Race Champ.
Okay.
So it was just an inspiration of multiple things like movies, TV series, music, video games that I used to play on my phone that would inspire me to be, writing a story about cars and racing. So multitude of inspiration that went into it. But yeah, that's eventually at the age of 17, I wrote Race Champ. 8 years it took me to publish the book.
Okay.
Because I was trying to save up funds to get published because nobody wanted to publish me at the time. So I went to the entire publishers catalog of South Africa. I went to so many different publishers. Nobody wanted to work with me. So I saved up money. Eventually, 8 years down the line, I eventually achieved my goal. I got published. And then when I got published, I noticed a lot of other authors are facing the same thing that I was facing. So that's what got me to set up multi-marketing, where I help other authors now get published. So in a nutshell, that's my journey.
Oh wow! Like I just need to point this one out. It's a 5 from 5 years old. I kid you, that's 5. I wasn't even thinking about a pub. I just want to go outside, run around the streets and come back and ride. By 7, I don't remember what was happening back there. But that is quite interesting, and it's quite nice to even hear the fact that you started at the age of 5 and the journey of it to be 17. Now at 17, like how hard was it to even get it out or even find a publishing? Because remember now, most of us don't have that kind of information of where we can publish our poems or where, because you have a lot of writers in the, and that's how, if I may ask, how old are you now?
Now I'm 31.
So like that guy, how would you even have thought of looking for a publishing company? But now for the young people, like for you, like how did you manage to move on and actually find a place where you can actually publish, or what? Who told you? Did you have to get some information from somewhere or from someone, or someone was guiding you, or a mentor? Like how did you get a hold of that?
Okay, so initially at the initial stage, back then I didn't have access to internet. So I was using Yellow Pages, a whole Yellow Pages book.
You know, you today I feel like we just dinosaurs, because I'm up 35. So like if you say Yellow Pages, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, they prefer that. Yeah.
No, that's fine. A lot of children don't know what Yellow Pages are. They never heard of it. They know Google. That's what they'll probably know.
They don't even know the photos like, with the cord.
Exactly. So I went through Yellow Pages, got rejected by everyone I phoned. Went to the Publishers Association of South Africa. Exhausted a 21-page catalog of publishers. Not one wanted to work with them. Then I found a publisher online. Finally, I got access to internet. I found a publisher. Not going to mention him, sure, but he strung me along for about 5 years. No end in sight. So I know all about being scammed. So that's why now when I'm a publisher, I don't want anyone to be scammed. I don't, because I know what it feels like. So I did all of that, and 8 years later, I just saved up. I worked 2 jobs, part-time jobs, started a side hustle, selling cake cookies on the side. 5 different things to save up money to publish my book. 8 years it took, and eventually I got the book published. So at the end of the day, I always tell authors, don't look at the cost of how much it's going to get you published. Think of how can I afford the cost of getting published. Don't matter how long it takes. It took me 8 years. I mean, from the age of 5, writing a book, 17, I wrote that book, and then I'm only published at the age of 26. So persistence, keep on doing it. And like I said, multi-marketing is the place if you want to. We never reject anyone. That's one rule I made at the beginning of multi-marketing. So we never turn on any publisher. So if you're looking for a publisher, multi-marketing is the place. But all authors, keep your head on the track and keep going at it. Don't ever give up.
And
Multi-marketing.
Okay, so multi-marketing, how does that work?
So what we are is basically a publishing, marketing, and distribution company. We help authors publish their book, market it, and distribute it to the broader audience. So not only do we produce the book, we market it for you, not just locally, but internationally as well. And we get you into bookstores and Amazon, online events like the Durban International Book Fair where we're at today. So that is what we do. We do publishing, marketing, and distribution of any author's books.
Listen, guys, I'm inspired because, like, as a writer myself, like, sometimes as a writer, it's sort of like the creative wall that I was talking about. It can run dry.
Yes.
And you have this thing called the writer's block. That is a cruise of it all. And there was a time where I had like a writer's block from the wait to even do hard to even say, but for a good 10 years, be like nothing. And recently I've been writing again, coming back, bit by bit. That by my station manager didn't try to push me a girl because she published a video of her own network. No, she been punishment. Put like writing and for next step back to just bring poetry here as well, like teach other people poetry and just have a poetry session, whatever it takes, So now, me meeting those kids, there was some kids from the same high school I went to.
Oh, okay.
So like it was like a shocker for me.
Right.
Bearing in mind, I told you at 5, 17, I was even thinking about writing. I only started writing after high school. That's the thing. So now, with that, just hearing you from me, it's just brings more motivation for me to even start writing and even publishing my book. Because I'm actually trying to write a poetry book and be published my poetry. And people are being telling me. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep in touch with you guys as well.
Definitely.
And you can help me and probably can learn a few, trades or ways to actually get my book out there and how to work it. And get people quoting you and taking off.
Exactly, and I'm not about that.
Now, you see it now. And hearing your story, it's quite inspiring. Man! And how many more books do you... When is Part 2 coming out?
Part 2 is going to come out when publishing slows down because it's been so busy on that side.
Okay.
I haven't had time to finally produce. I've written it down, all written. But to produce the book, I need the time, space to oversee it. But now I'm helping other authors, so maybe later on in life, once it slows down, I'll release the other two.